Good morning and welcome to another edition of Lovin Daily. I'm Tim, host, joined today by JP, and these are our stories for today. Big news, Malta has reached herd immunity. Health Minister Chris Fearn has confirmed, and mask laws will be relaxed in July. A money laundering case has revealed a hidden camera was used to capture photos of women using a bathroom. Italy's Eurovision winner has tested negative for cocaine. Shocking footage has emerged showing a violent attack on a Transport Malta official. And an MP has called for laws to ban bestiality, sex with animals. So JP, herd immunity after about a year and a half of the pandemic.
About a year and a half after the pandemic, but the first country apparently to achieve herd immunity, at least according to Health Minister Chris Fearn, who announced it yesterday at a press conference that Malta has reached that 70% threshold to define herd immunity, which is an incredible feat and showing exactly the success of Malta's incredible vaccination campaign. With that being said, herd immunity has now been achieved, and the Health Minister, along with Superintendent of Public Health Charmaine Gauci, announced or at least propose some more easing of measures over the past few months. I think the one that most people are looking forward to is the 1st of July, when we can finally remove the face masks from our face and meet each other in public without having to wear a face mask. Only if you are vaccinated though. So you will need to present your vaccination certificate, or at least have your vaccination certificate with you in order to meet people in public face to face. Obviously this creates a number of problems.
In groups of two.
In groups of two as well, so restrictions are still in place, but it raises a number of concerns, right? Number one is, am I going to have to carry a card with me everywhere I go to show that I am vaccinated? And how are police going to enforce this? Are they going to go up to everyone who's not wearing a mask and say, show me your vaccination certificate? It seems a bit strange, a bit unclear at the moment, but at least we're kind of slowly edging towards some sense of normality. There was also a discussion, about the potential to reopen mass events as well. And kind of get back to a sense of normality. What did you make of Fearn's comments yesterday?
Well, I mean, it's quite clear that there. It seems a bit of a conflict, right? So there's the sense of pride and perhaps exaggerated pride, but there's also a sense of extreme caution. So I don't think any other country has so far declared herd immunity as a fact. I mean, there have been scientists in other countries who said, I think we're at herd immunity or we're going to get there. But unless I'm mistaken, Malta is the first country in the world where the actual health minister went on live TV and said, we've done it, we're there. And it has been reported internationally, so countries are taking notice. However, there's also an abundance of caution. So unlike last year, even though most people have been vaccinated, the restrictions and COVID transmission in the community has been practically eliminated, and there hasn't been a single death for the past 2 weeks or even more. Even more. The restrictions are remaining, so the fact that we have at least another month, over a month, with masks on, and even after 1st July, they're not coming off completely,
right.
Only for vaccinated people, and even then, if you're in a group of 3, you have to wear a mask anyway. So I personally expect if the numbers remain low, then the restrictions will keep on going down, and even in terms of the masks, right? I mean, it's the first step has been taken, and now we can actually discuss removing it in even more. But good to know that you don't have to wear a mask to go on a solitary walk. It never made sense, and finally, that's being removed.
Soon,
hopefully. Moving on to our next story. So the police's case, money laundering case against 2 restaurant owners, took a strange twist yesterday when an IT expert, testified about the electronic evidence he analyzed from restaurant owner Albert Buttigieg. And he said that in one of the USB sticks, pen drives that he analyzed, he found footage showing that a camera was installed in a woman's bathroom. Now, there were some reports stating that this camera was installed inside his own restaurant. has to be said, there's absolutely no evidence, at least as of now, showing that that is the case. He never said that, and there's no evidence at all either yet that he took the images, took the footage himself. He might have received them from a third party. However, it is still a crime, and the police have been told to investigate, rightfully so. The issue, though, would be timing, right? So crimes even like this would be time barred. So if this was taken several years ago, there'll be nothing the police can do about it. However, it's it's still clear that they have to investigate.
Absolutely, I think there's a total of like 14,000.
Well, 14,000 to be fair, there's a bit of not exactly 14,000 separate photos or what we've gathered. Those are stills from a video.
Right, exactly. Stills from a video, but still disturbing footage nonetheless. I mean, footage is being charged alongside Florinda Sultana as part of the investigation to Diane De Bono and Jeffrey Katkuti, who owned a pair of restaurants believed to be a racket, a front for a 30 million oil smuggling racket. However, this investigation continues with no claims have yet to be proven. Moving on to our third story, and now concerning the Eurovision of the weekend, which hopefully can come to a close now that the Italian winners, Måneskin, have taken the drug test and they've come out negative. The singer of the band, who was filmed over the weekend, bending down over his table in the green room, allegedly, according to some sources, taking cocaine, voluntarily did a drug test, and it came out negative, according to the European Broadcasting Union. I think not many people are surprised by that, given that the Italian band is a straight edge band, given that photos of the night taken from different angles show that in fact there was broken glass by his feet, so probably he was just bending over to take a look at it or pick it up. But that can be laid to rest. Måneskin are officially the Eurovision winners. There's no debate about that. They had a great song. They won with 524 points for the rock-inspired track Zitti e Buoni. And the drama can finally be laid to rest, don't you think?
Well, I mean, there are some people who actually, believe it or not, are still doubting the validity of the drug test, saying, I don't believe it. I saw the video, I saw taking coke myself. No, unfortunately.
Drug experts themselves, huh?
No, Italy has, as you rightly said, won the Eurovision fair and square. Malta has finished 7th, and I think rather than pointing fingers at others, I think it's really time to start discussing why we can't win and stop blaming others and neighbors and whatever. Try and actually compose an original song, right? Because that's ultimately what it takes, to win this contest. It has to be original, it has to be creative, and it has to stand out from the crowd.
And in Maltese as well, huh?
Maybe, if it's...
I think it's a formula that works, right? We've had some good, nice Maltese... It's a formula that works, I think. We've had some nice Maltese songs released this year, and I think it would be good to show the language on the international stage. But
let's not make the mistake that just because it's in Maltese, then it's going to do well. So it has to be a good song. Because there's no magic formula. It has to be a good song, that's it. It's irrelevant if it's in Maltese, English, Italian. The song just has to be good, it has to be creative, and it has to stand out. So moving on, shocking footage has emerged of road workers physically assaulting a Transport Malta official in Imriħel over the weekend. So this was reported quite extensively in the press last Saturday, if I'm not mistaken, and police have launched an investigation into it. However, Lovin Malta received footage showing at least part of the incident, and it's quite disturbing. It shows these road workers next to their truck, 2 of them or 3 of them, grabbing a traffic cone and slamming it against this guy's head, as you do, 2 against 1 or 3 against 1,
ganging up on him
in the middle of the street in broad daylight with someone filming them, showing the absolute arrogance and
disrespect,
but not just this, also the fact that you believe you can do whatever you want and not even get caught. That's just in broad daylight attacking a Transport Malta official.
Right. And then leaving him on the floor and then packing up and whilst he's there. Thankfully there were bystanders that stepped in to help and check that he was okay, but definitely shocking footage and something that's being investigated further by the police. And now moving on to our final story today, and opposition MP Mario Gallia has called for introduction of laws banning bestiality, or in other words, sex with animals, something that's been discussed before in the past, but yet it seems to be the case that there is no provision for it in Maltese law as of yet. So much so that opposition MP Mario Gallia spoke yesterday during a debate about amendments to the Animal Welfare Act, during which he said it was unacceptable for Malta to not have these specific laws catering for instances where people are caught having sexual relations with animals. He said himself that he was approached by a number of members from the judiciary who pointed out that under such circumstances, if a person is found guilty of bestiality, the only provision of the law that they can effectively use to punish them is related to animal cruelty, which isn't justifiable and which isn't enough. It's a bit strange considering that we're still debating this bestiality. It was brought to the fore last year as well, when a man was charged for having committing sexual acts to a horse in a farm, and Animal Rights Minister Anton Reflo in fact said that last year that they'd be looking into this and that there should be laws and provisions to address this. Yet here we are months later with no real debate on, or at least no kind of headway made in regards to banning bestiality in Malta. So much so that the fact that, speaking to Lovin Malta last year, a lawyer, Etienne Savona, argued that Malta risks becoming a hotspot for people who enjoyed having sex with animals if this legislation is not taken into regard.
Yeah, I don't know. I really don't understand why this law hasn't passed yet. Not even passed, it's been proposed. It just seems so simple, right? No, it is a crime to have sex with an animal. It just seems so obvious.
Yeah.
But unfortunately it's taking its time, and good on Mario Gallia for raising this again, and maybe the government will start moving a little bit.
Absolutely.
And that brings us to the end of another edition of Lovin Daily. Stick around for the end of the show, because we're going to be airing a trailer for an exclusive Lovin Malta interview with Nila Juice. So Nila Juice is a famous local swimmer who last year managed to swim from Sicily all the way to Malta, a fantastic feat. And we're going to be talking to him about his upcoming challenge this summer. So yeah,
stay tuned for that.
Stay tuned for that at the end of the show, and until we meet again, have a day full of loving.
I have about 6 weeks of training left, but in these last 6 to 8 weeks, it's where 60–70% of the training is done. It's a lot of hours of training, a lot of hours. Before it was kind of the first time someone swam from Sicily to Malta, so obviously that counts as a record, but this is kind of